All righty, my computer decided to buff there for a minute.
Well, be
But
better off if I change.
welcome everyone to our
Good morning.
good morning, Chris. Great. Hey, how was you? We really want you to share. Are you still in Charleston or are you
I
still?
am not. I'm back in Kansas. I'm back. I'm back where 30 degrees doesn't shut us down.
I know, but at least Charleston gave you a little bit of warmth. I was hoping the sun would
Yeah.
shine when you were here more, but it
Yeah, it's
just
warmer than here. Are you feeling better?
a little better. Yes, I'm coming out. I'm coming out really
Ooh.
good. I'm at the end. I could sit up and talk, so I'm really doing good now. Yes, I really am. But I'm glad you got to see. Rick said you went to Harmon and you had a great time.
Oh, that was a good time. And I talked with one of the owners a little bit. I'm just trying to get home. Let's try to get home this week about he. The one brother was seemed somewhat interested, but the other brother seemed a little more interested. So we'll kind of see how that one plays out.
Oh yeah, I know
And
that. They're
I talked to that the GM at the Adina at the little uh what is it Turkish market was right beside Hyman's. There's that little turkey dessert or Mediterranean dessert place. I
there's so
talked to
much.
them.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
good.
she's real interested in it. So yeah,
Oh well, that's good. I'm glad you were able to make some contact and talk to folks because it's a real big tourist city, and I'm quite sure you could see that
oh
by
for
being
sure.
down there. But that was awesome. So make sure you keep in contact with them.
Right, right. I am.
All righty. Well, welcome everyone to our Thursday mastermind call. We're so excited that everybody is here. I know the company is getting ready to do a big push in Raleigh. I don't know if it's this weekend or I know I saw that. And then they had another one. And so they're really getting out there. I think Chris and Delby are doing a great job in getting out and talking to everyone. Hello, Chantel, with that gorgeous hat on. I love it. I love it. I love it. How are you this morning? And unmute so I could hear your beautiful voice.
Doing fantastic. Good to see your face.
Oh, good to see you too. I know. I love those earrings. I love the bling bling. You know, you always come with the bling bling. Oh
Time
boy.
to take it up, take it up.
Oh, I know. I love it. I love it. I love it. But we're excited, and then they're going to be you in Raleigh. Is it this weekend that they're having the?
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay.
the tour. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be really good. I know Rick said we have family there, so he was gonna make sure that they knew about it. Last thing you want is for your family to call you and say, "Hey, I joined this travel business. I want you to take a look at it," and it's ours. So we want to make sure anybody make sure they know that you invited them, so they could see what we're doing here with Surge 365. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be really good.
Yes.
And Brenda, that is so important because I was thinking, because most families. Now, Chantel and Glenn have awesome families that are entrepreneurial. My family, they're kind of, but they're looking at me and they've looked at us for all these years. And but since the company is going to be doing something in Raleigh, I was like, I need because they are in Greensboro, Raleigh. I said, okay, regardless, I'm going to let them know. And see, and that's the most important thing that we can do as a responsibility is to let our family know and to never be accused of, well, I didn't know and you didn't tell me, you know, if it's gonna fall on one side or the other, they may not come in, or but then again they may. But at least you said something. Because there is nothing worse than you not telling your family or your best friend or anybody close to you and them saying, hey, I just wanted to tell you about this opportunity I came across.
That happened. Glenn's best friend is down in Atlanta. and he was working at the Marriott, and he runs everything in there, and they were running him down. The leaders in Atlanta was because he was hosting the event for our company, and they were trying to sign him up, and he was already in with us, but they definitely had their eyes on him. Absolutely.
And
So
if you
you
don't,
cannot
if they,
take anything for granted.
you can't take nothing for granted, and it's nothing worse that you didn't tell somebody, and because you didn't tell them, they found a great opportunity that they're telling you about. And now you're like, well, I'm already in. You're in? How you gonna be in? Well, I've been in for a number of years, and you didn't tell me. So I was not gonna let that happen with my family. If they come on board, it's okay if they come on board even with a good friend in Raleigh or wherever. And but I don't want to be accused that I did not tell them. Back to you, Brenda.
Yeah, that is so true. And that picture of Jock with the $50,000. I have a friend who lives in Illinois, and she follows us on Facebook. And I guess she saw it on your site, and she inboxed me, and she was like, "This company's still going on?" And I had to laugh, and I said, "Yes, it is." Excuse me, because she was in with us years ago. She didn't do very much, but then she dropped out. And so it was funny that people are still watching. You might think that nobody is seeing your posts, but they're watching, because I know I scroll through and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna like that. And before you know it, I'm on something else and never click that I liked it or whatever. But people are definitely watching what we're doing, and social media is a big part of it. And you definitely don't want your family, because folks got laid off before. It's looking like a lot of these big companies are getting ready to lay off thousands of people again. And you try to tell folks with that last paycheck, just invest, just
That's
invest
true.
and start sharing with everybody else that's getting laid off, because that's one thing. People are going to continue to travel. And even my son, with his itinerary for this month, they're gone somewhere every weekend, because they're getting ready to have another little bouncing baby boy in May. So they're trying to make sure that they go wherever they can, since they just have the one baby now, realizing that once you have another newborn, it's going to slow your roll. So they're trying to keep moving for this month, and I think they're going to slow down in March, and then they'll be sitting back and just waiting. We got this little guy; he's coming, supposed to be gracing our presence around May 10th.
Wait a minute, Brenda. Repeat what you just said.
Oh, we're getting ready to be grandparents again. I was talking to my son yesterday, and he was telling us, because they just went up to Breckenridge. It's a ski resort in Colorado. And he was saying, Mom, you think everybody knows that Lauren is pregnant again? And I thought, I guess so. I mean, I knew way back, when they tell us in Thanksgiving, I knew. And so now that you say that, Glenn, I don't know. Did I ever say it to the group that we're going to be grandparents again?
I
You may not
know.
have,
I know.
because you may
Oh,
not have because our kids are kind of funny.
yeah.
We
I know.
know about that.
You know what I
They
mean?
don't
Because
want us to post
initially
pictures. They don't
we,
want us
we
to.
we ain't even know.
Oh,
And
goodness.
then it's like, okay, so we've learned to just let them do whatever they do.
Right. Because they're like, Mom, Dad, don't tell anybody yet until we tell this person, until we tell that. I was like,
Yeah, we're
whatever.
like, forget it, forget it,
Tell the
forget it.
world. We don't even care. So,
Whatever
anyway.
you want to do, it's all good.
Yeah, so we do keep the peace, but yes, they are having their second baby, and it's a little boy, so we're really excited about that. and he's doing really good. I told my son that he literally would kick the remote control for the TV off my belly. That's how active he was. And it looks like this little guy is about as active as he is. And so we'll get to see them in March after the Cancun trip. We're going to go from Cancun to Denver and hang out with them. And that'll be my granddaughter's second birthday. So we'll be there for her second birthday and then see them again because the last time we saw them was Thanksgiving Thanksgiving when they came. But yeah, so I'm excited. I know Rick's excited. Cameron and Lauren are definitely excited to be having
Wow.
their second.
Congratulations.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so it's a little boy. And of course, this little girl, she's just a hoot. And we get to see pictures and Facebook with FaceTime with her all a lot. But yeah, they're excited. And it's funny because first they were like, yeah, I think we'll have three. And now with this second one, Cameron's like, I don't know, Mom. Three is a lot of kids. So we'll see.
You could
He's
ask
like,
somebody.
I know, huh? He said, I think we might stop at two. I started laughing. But yeah, they're excited. We're excited. So yeah, we're gonna be
That's
grandparents again.
wonderful.
Oh, thank
Rick,
you.
all your practice, Rick, is gonna pay off, bro.
I know, huh?
It's going to pay off. Running down
Yes,
the street with these boys. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
It is not a joke.
I know. And already, because Lauren was saying he's so much more active than Cece. Cece wasn't as active. And I went, oh my goodness, he's a boy already. So yeah, they'll be having a good time. And
Mm-mm.
so yeah. So we're excited. And it's really interesting how life goes because we didn't know if they were going to wait, if they were going to continue, because they kind of share but then they don't share, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, they
And
funny.
they're peculiar.
No, they're peculiar.
They're peculiar, but it's okay, we love them. And it's funny because I remember taking all kind of advice, but my son is a what is his major? His major is in
Child development.
yeah, early child development is what he got his degree in. So he is
As an
really
Air
good.
Force major.
Yeah, Air Force major, and
Now that worked out good in the military
yes, yeah, because
as
he
you babysitting.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I wanted to ask, how do you start your day? I have been starting my day and planning out my day in the morning before life and all responsibilities and everything else takes over. And I have been commanding my day in the morning and aligning my day in the morning before everything gets out of control. Hold on. And that's what I have been doing. And it has been working out so good because resetting and understanding, everything is anew in the morning, and understanding my identity in the morning, it sets the course for the day. And it shapes the course of the day. And I'm able to align, and set my intentions of the day, to architect my belief for the day before I step into, the habits of routines and the habits of responsibilities from yesterday. And what I'm finding is that it's shaping, and this is the most amazing thing, because I've been doing this for the last 4 days, waking up like that. But it's shaping every conversation, every opportunity, every reaction. It's shaping every unfolding moment. But it sets the tone of the day. And be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And it's making me more and more realize and understand that imagination is everything. Imagination is creation. And so, but yeah, I've been just enjoying it. And there's a video that I'm watching, listen to this um, every morning. And I've been listening to it every morning. And it's reminding me of whose I am and who I am every morning. And it's just incredible because when you decree a thing that is in alignment with your identity, the story you tell yourself, it's not a request, you know, it's a command, and everything falls in line with it. And the most amazing thing. And so I just want to remind everyone, to take that time in the morning before everything gets away and everything gets out of hand, as we know that it does, and to realize that you're guided, as you declare that you are protected, that your day is strengthened by you understanding whose you are for the day, that you're supported, that you're never alone. And when you do realize that, and ooh, Deborah, hold on, and you set the course of your day, like that, then your steps, your steps are taken and walked in confidence. Your choices are aligned, with your wisdom, with God's wisdom. Your reactions are guarded and grounded in peace, and you're not rushing. You're not forcing. You're not bracing against things that are never going to happen, like we do, or like I do. And you begin to move in grace and clarity, which is so, so very, very important. You move like you know that God is walking before you. And it's really awesome because you're not fearful. I was reading this thing and it was just saying how fear has no oxygen in the presence of divine identity when you realize whose you are and um, and who you are. Fear cannot survive in the atmosphere of belief. And it's so important when you step out into the day with that identity, with that belief. Fear can't speak when your heart is filled with truth. And so fear has no place. Anxiety has no authority. Doubt has no voice. And you're declaring that your day, your identity is secure in Him. And man, that makes a difference. And so I've been doing that every morning, and the most amazing things have happened because everything is falling into alignment of what I'm declaring and taking that moment in the morning. Has anyone else done that or experienced that, taking that moment in the morning and seeing the impact in their day? Anybody? Have you seen that?
Well, I can share because listening to you talk about oh my goodness, I forget her name, how you shared it with her, she started doing it. And I was kind of sleeping a lot these last few days, so I haven't really implemented it yet. But it's also along the line of, how you say, Darlene, I see your hands up. So you've been doing it, and that's great. It's along the line of, how when you send those things out to everybody on what they want to do, Chantel too, it's great. And I'll have you guys share a little bit in a minute, but it's just like for the year. You know how you have people write out what your goals are for the year? And instead of just waiting for the year to pass and say, oh, it was completed, it's like you're doing it every morning. You're putting together, you're reading, you're understanding, you're writing down how you want your day to go. And your day will unfold just like you speak it. Darlene, Chantel, you guys want to share to that?
I that was an accident, but I will share that starting my day, I I don't have I'll say, grounded intentions on what I do to start my day. I know I get up and I do my praising and my Bible study and all that. And as I go along my day, I take my priorities in order. I am a procrastinator, but I try to do that. And sometimes, it makes my day if I go according to how everything's fall in place. If I do something intentional, then I feel that I've left something out if I don't do what comes to mind that I should be doing. I feel that I just follow however the Lord leads me to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Awesome.
and that's what Rick's pretty much saying. In the morning, he kind of you say it what you want to do, and it's almost like I remember we were learning um, where you would write down. I know Dawn Brewer does it at night. She writes down all the things she wants to get accomplished the next day. And so when she wakes up, she starts thinking about all the things she needs to do. She wrote it down. Then when she completes it, and it could be as simple as making my bed. I mean, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to make sure I finish this book or finish this 300 page whatever it is. I'm gonna make sure I eat healthy. I'm gonna make sure it's that kind of thing, and then it begins to unfold because you're actually doing it as opposed to not having a plan for your day. That's more so. Chantel, you had your hands up.
Yes, definitely do that every morning. And what I'm seeing and experiencing through that, Glenn, is the person also. We need that time. That time is
Good.
personal for us. It prepares us for our
Yes.
day. And it is intentional. Definitely calling in, you know, promotions, leadership, community builders, what we have written out on our goals, what's happening in the vision that's been written in 2000, way back in early 2000s, on that vision board is starting to come forth because of what you're saying right there. You are speaking it and it's coming. And now you're like, oh, that's happening. Oh, that's happening. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference. And when you write it down, it really comes to you. I'm telling you, you can hardly go out of the house when you have intentions. People have been lately coming up. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Oh, I saw you looking at that cup. Oh, you can have that cup. Oh, I want you to try this out. I'm like, what's going on? But it is the energy that you're bringing
Yes,
because you prepared for the day. It is that energy that is ignited in you that's coming forth. And people are like, oh, I like that. So you never know who you're drawing, but that energy that you bring in a room, it matters. It matters. And I'm thankful because Glenn kind of started this and then we like, okay, let's do this and let's see where it takes us. And that's my little piece right there, but it is definitely working.
yeah,
You know,
We have
it's your
been
intentions. Go ahead, Glenn.
we have been commanding our day. The way you start that day is going to affect the rest of your day and beyond.
It's the truth.
So we have been intentional, and everything's been revelation. The revelation's just been pouring out this year. We did the fasting time and the focusing, and the way you start your day out. Don't start out with negativity, going to the social media or to the news. No, you got to start off properly, and we've been doing that all this year. You will see the results. Also focusing on, we only use 1/10 of our brains in the fallen state, and it's the same thing in the spiritual realm. We have powers to change, to shift atmospheres, but people don't know. They're not studying to show themselves approved and to learn how to use these gifts and powers that we have. We have the power. We are it. And that's where we are focusing our energies this year and to the finish line because no more trips around the mountain. And there was the
Man, that's
word
good.
there was a message on Wednesday night with Dr. Bill Winston. Oh my goodness. And he talked the same word that what is going on? We have been following the rules. We've been faithful. He said, it's time for us to see the results. And he's calling that in. Let this thing flow. It's time. So that's the way we start our day. And to stay focused and hold out the negativity as much as possible because you're inundated with it. Toxic world and toxic energy and toxic people. So, and then I know when she goes in, you can't even approach her. I don't even go near her when she's going in because I don't want to poke the bear. And but anyway, that is how we start our day, and we will continue to do so. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
Amen.
Hey, Rick, you know, I am a Gemini and I can go from here to there, but I can make a list. I can start that list, but if I'm called on and if I'm needed, that list is not going to get completed.
Mhm.
So I might shift it over to another day to hopefully it'll get done, but I'm not a good list maker. Back to you,
That's
Rick.
okay.
You figure
That is okay.
at least, but the thing about it is, and I hear what you're saying, Darlene, Gemini right here in the house also. What I do is I can get so much my thing, and so Rick and I were kind of different on this. I can have 7 things going at one time
Yes.
and I get it all. And Rick likes to focus, get it done, and move to the next thing. Focus, get it done, move to the next thing. But I can have a couple of things going at one time and get it done. So when you find out how you work, then work that way because it's okay. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people try to work the way they're told to work or the way they see somebody else work. And if it's not working for you, then find out what you're comfortable doing.
Right.
And if it's like Dawn, I said she does hers at night. Chantel does hers in the morning, and a lot of times it's through prayer. And the one Norvell that Rick is sharing, watch the first 33 minutes. What he's saying is the same thing, really. It's just different wording. So if you get up in the morning and you pray, whatever your prayer is, and then you want to do this, this, and that, you ask God to lead you, guide you, and direct you on the what to do and how to do.
Hmm.
That's pretty much it. And it's going to come to you. And it might not be on your list. It might be somebody who calls you needing this,
Hmm.
this, but that's what you asked for. You just
Right.
didn't have it on your list at
Right.
first. So, yeah, that was good. Chantel?
Oh, wow. So, yeah, a
Yeah,
list.
Rick, go ahead.
I will write a list. And it's amazing because I'll write a list and it ensures that I get things done, is why I write the list.
Hmm.
If I don't write a list, something falls through the cracks. But when I write a list, I'm only doing it because I can, throughout the course of the day, check things off. Bottom line is, if I write a list, I actually get the things done that I write down on the list.
Kind of
If
like
I
a
don't,
roadmap.
it's like a roadmap,
Hmm.
I'm not strict to it, but it's like a roadmap reminder that, okay, you wanted to do this, you wanted to do this, and but it's not like it's holding me, in straight jacket or anything like that. But if I don't write a list, things fall through the cracks. But it's so amazing because when I actually write something down throughout the course of the day, I check everything off and I go, wow. Back to you.
I think it's all about what your intentions are also. You know, what are you doing? What are you here to do? What are you vision towards? And
Mm,
I think that when you get up early like that, or even take a few months, it doesn't even have to be. Sometimes it's early because sometimes I get awakened early, and I'm like, why am I here? But when it's not that, sometimes you just need a few minutes to compose your own self, to hear your own thoughts before the world tries to take over you.
that's
And
it.
I got this, I need this over here. and Glenn to tell you, I'm good. I will turn that phone off when I'm really focusing on, okay, I'm helping this person right now. We need to get this done. I will turn it off. I will shut it down. And we're gonna hit this target because that's the focus we set for this moment. And that's what we do. We hit that target. We help the people that we're helping because people have their hands up, but we're looking at that vision. And it's intentional. Especially in today's climate. Um, it is very intentional what we're doing, how we're impacting lives, because a lot of people need us today, and we are the company of hope. That is like that healing with vacations is deeply. I think that's embedded in a lot of us.
That's
That
true.
just was just the right timing. That was even before COVID came. That was given to Scott Tomer, healing nations with vacations. We're still those people impacting this world. And so when we're intentional like that, I'm telling you, things start coming and you're like, okay, this door opened over here. Am I supposed to go through that door? And then you look and you're like, I'm supposed to go through that door and go through the door because you have intentionally set that in place. Like all these doors that are opening for you, that's not just something that is a part of what you're calling forth in yourself,
It's true.
in your being. You're
It's true.
calling that. And don't be afraid to say, okay, I'm here. But when you get up early, this is what I was getting to. You're able to prepare before. Before. So I'm ready. Okay. I go out the door. I take my little iPad with me. You just don't know what's coming. And so I like to be prepared. And so that's just me. Back to you, Rick and
You know,
Brenda.
some people may think this procrastination or what have you, but let me tell you, this is war. We are at war, and there have never been so many distractions as now. And the distractions are vying for your attention and your focus. You got to recognize them and stay focused on your priorities for the day or for your life, because the distractions are not going to cease and they're not going to slow down. So we just have to be aware of those devices set against what we're doing in our destiny. Back to you,
And
Rick and Brendan.
especially if you don't set something, then it's filled in for you, you know. And I was reading something, in fact, in that recording, it was just saying how, life is not a battlefield, it's a canvas. When you actually take that time out in the morning, it becomes a battlefield when you don't do anything, and now you're responding throughout the whole day to stuff that's happening. Deborah, did you have something?
Hi, yeah,
Hey.
I got in a little late, but I kind of caught on what you were talking about. So how I kind of do it is at night before or is it morning when I really go to bed. But when I do go to bed, I kind of envision what I want done. It's not so much writing it down. I actually kind of see myself, whatever I'm going to be doing, I see myself
Nice.
doing it. And because I'm like, Darlene, if I write it down, I might not even look at it if it's not right in front of me. And so, and I'm like Brenda too. I'm kind of a mixture of those two both. But if I can see it before I go to sleep, I vision myself getting it done. If I have written it done, that just reinforces what I have seen. And then I allow room for the in between because I can multitask too much. And so I'm working on actually completing what I started in some areas. So that's the area I'm working on. This year I'm working on being disciplined, a structure, and yeah, those are the main things, being disciplined and creating a real structure and a routine for me, getting rid of some old habit patterns. And so that's where I'm at on all that. Thank you.
It's important to have a journal, and in that journal, writing down the vision for the future. When you don't write down the vision for the future, you stay in the present, past. And so I can't stress how important it is to write it down. The vision for the future, actually, that begins with the vision for the day, and the vision for the month, and the vision for the year. Because truly, what you write down and envision will fall just like you write it down and envision. Imagination is everything. But I can tell you the key is actually writing it down. Procrastination happens when you actually don't write it down, because you forget and the mind puts aside things that aren't important. But when you begin to write something down, it prioritizes in your spirit what's important, and it allows your spirit to do the work. You know, when you write down the vision, write it down, make it plain, and especially if you have other people that you're leading or working with, write the vision, make it plain so that not only ourselves, but others that read it may run. And if you're looking to build anything, an institution, team, write the vision, make it plain so that others and I'm speaking from my own experience because I didn't write things down. And then when I start having a team and being responsible to a team, that's why you see everything I do written down so that others who can see it and read it may run. And otherwise, they don't know what your vision is. They don't know, even in a family sense, they don't know who you are. And like Chantel was saying in the morning, setting that intention, writing down that intention, only God knows how that goes throughout your day. And like Glenn was saying, that goes throughout your day to impact every conversation, every interaction, every single thing. And it just lets you know as a person, as a child of God, the power of creation and how powerful he actually has made us, to be able to command the day. And we shouldn't be surprised by it. Who you believe yourself to be determines what you expect. What you expect determines what you perceive. What you perceive determines what you receive. And when you begin to realize how powerful that you are to be able to set the course of the day, that if you can consciously in the morning, instruct your day with an inner clarity and a spiritual authority, what you assume in advance becomes the path that you walk. What you expect in emotion becomes the reality that you encounter. What you believe within becomes the pattern that life reveals without. And you begin to understand that your imagination that you write down becomes the womb of creation. And you go from one thing to the next. What else do I need to create? You're not here to react to the day. You're here to command it with alignment with the truth. And so when you begin to understand that and look at that, and the more that you move in identity, you're less shaken by your circumstances. The less you fall into emotional loops, the less you drift, unconsciously through the hours, when we're not really there, but we're there, but we're not really there. And then now, once we do that, and this is what I've been experiencing over the last 4 days. I kind of been doing this all that time, but really just being aware over the last few days, which means that I've actually moved to another place. But I've been experiencing, you have the peace the world can't give and the confidence that it can't take. And you begin to walk in the version of yourself that God intends instead of drifting, to something else. And then you begin to understand that the day bends toward how you feel, how you think with the obedience. That's the most amazing thing. That's the most amazing thing. Back to you, Brenda.
It's true. Anybody else? You know what I
Hey
like?
guys,
Go right ahead.
hey, blessing to y'all. And I wanted to say while you were talking, Rick, I just thought about it. Don't let procrastination be confused with your preparation. You know,
Mm.
and that goes with don't let people's objective thinking or, what they think they see or and say interfere with what you're doing. You know, you write the vision, make it plain, read it, and run. No matter how long it takes, as long as you're on course, you're gonna get there. The destination timing, I believe wholeheartedly that's on God. And His timing is always perfect, so it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. You just stay on course.
That's the truth.
And that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing, I think. Being an entrepreneur coming out of the workforce, you have that background where you feel like you can fall back on. But I'm remembering, to burn the ships. Is that there ain't no going back. This is happening. It's not going to happen. It's happening. And you got to stay in that moment, stay in that mindset, and follow your vision, and know that you're gonna get it. You're going to get it. Everybody that's listening, you got your vision, you got your dream, you got your hope. You're going to get it. Don't doubt. Just take one day at a time, which is a footstep in eternity. And just know that you're gonna get there. There's the end for you, and it's already designed. It's already proven. Believe it or not, all you gotta do is follow the map, and you'll get to the treasure. So God bless everybody.
Hey man, I believe that, and I don't know, procrastination, God's timing is perfect. I don't even kind of believe in procrastination because when we fail to do something, we do it. When we remember to do something, we do it. Like Darlene, you walk in like obedience that when your inner voice tells you to do something, you do it. If it's not telling you to do something, you don't do it in whatever time period, but it probably didn't need to be done anyway in that time period. I truly believe there is no assertion, only attraction. And so if we're not feeling to do something, I don't know, is it procrastination or is it the timing is not right and my internal is telling me, my spirit is telling me that it's not the right time. Now, there are some things that may not fall into that place, but Darlene, you do immediately the thing that the spirit tells you to do.
Rick, I do. And I think when I do it that way, if when things come on my mind, I think that's him talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
telling me, because there's so many times that I used to, things come on my mind and I take it over. No, I don't want to do that. I do this. Well, then if I had done what I thought, the outcome would have been better. I
Ooh,
think he puts the pressure on me to wait, and that's my procrastination, to wait for that time.
that's
And
so is
then
that good or bad? I think that's good.
I think it's good for me because I can operate, I'll say operate, and when I'm under pressure, I is when I do my best work. If I have too much time to think, then I'm going to outthink myself and things are not going to come out the way they're supposed to be. Well, they're going to come out anyway, but they're not going to come out the way I want them to come out. See, because I'll put too much thought into it. So when I'm thinking fast is when I do my best. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well,
My daughter would call it overthinking.
my thing is like I do a lot of creative work and but I can only do it in the timing that I'm empowered to do it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like aside from that, I'm really kind of thick, you know what I mean? And but if I can follow, if I can get information, if I can receive and I'm obedient to that and that timing, you see the website develop, you see this happening, you see that happening,
Mhm.
and it's God actually just working through us. And that's why I believe it's so important to know and to be obedient when he tells us to do something,
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost like a test. Are you afraid? And so sometimes, and that's how I build a business. I'm not on anybody's clock, but when God does something, that's what's so beautiful. And you guys, I want you to just observe what Chantel and Glenn do, what Brenda and I do, because we're no different from any of the other leaders on this call. But observe and think back. Even when Glenn said, "I'm going to help my cousin on this cruise," little did he know in that obedience, he was triggering for them to be the first folks to receive the power line bonus in that little step of obedience. There are things that Brenda and I do. There's a reason when you observe Glenn and Chantel and Brenda and I, we're doing steps of obedience to receive those bonuses in their timing. Not forcing them, not twisting people's arms, but steps of leadership, responsibility, and obedience. Glenn and Chantel, can you all talk to what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Definitely agree with that. And I was just thinking back as you were talking, and I remember because as you talk about the journals, going through going through the journals and going through the pages and going through the notes in my phone and seeing all the things that we wrote down. We wrote down when we were coming into every level in the company or whatever was important in our family, even the promotions in our children, what our children's outlooks are, what we want to see in them down the line in their life. We wrote all that on that list. Okay, it's out into the 2030s, written years ago. This kind of thing is what I'm talking about. When we came into the National Builder, I would never forget this. It was also the same day our pastor put on Mrs. Washington State. Okay, it was the same exact day. And it was a pretty busy day for us. We were doing like three different things. And I remember sitting in the room where I'm right now, looking down and saying, I was screaming so loud because the timing was that it's time now. But when I look back on the list, we had written it down. We did not write down team builder. That came so fast. It just was like, whoa, done. But every other level, we that's written down and it's dated. And you'll see on the vision board, and then I'll change the little date over there. But it's still on the page. Okay. Every and this is how intentional this is. When we came into the company and we were doing our vision, I never forget this. And we had the notebook, the journal, and we were like, what are the things we need to do to lead the people? And we wrote this list. And as we were looking at the list, we had, and you probably heard us talk about this before. We had completed everything in that list, okay, except one thing. And the one thing was a projector. And we got on a plane and we were so excited. We said, we're going to go home and we're going to share this with our family. Immediately, we got on the plane, went to Ohio first. Glenn got in there, showed the program to the family. They said yes. They came in. Parents came in. Brothers and sisters, they came in. They said yes. Got all the way to Virginia. Did the same thing. Was one-on-one time. This was the intention of our hearts because generational legacy building is who we are. That's always been in us. It didn't just start. That's been in us ever since we've been on the earth. Um, and we get to my sister's home and we're just having a conversation and we're telling her some of the things we're doing. She goes in her bedroom, comes out with the box. In the box is a projector. That was the last thing on our list. I was like, are you serious? I said, are you really serious? And it was brand new. She said, we get these that, the government just gives stuff away. And she said, I wasn't going to use it, but I took it home. This is what I'm talking about. It is written down. When we came into that national building, I was screaming so loud because of the intensity of where we were in our life. It was so thick. It was so much pressure on us. And it was like hands went up to say thank you because the work that you were doing matters. It matters enough to be written on that paper. So when you go back and your children go back and they look on, they said they wrote that down. We this year we included our grandchildren in it with the vision because we want to put some intentions in them that you have a purpose here. You're not just here. You have things to do. You're going to impact this world. And so watching them put that vision board together and granddaughter wrote it with her hands and it blew me away that
Wow.
these children have their own desires. And
Wow.
you watch what I'm saying. And I said, now when you get home, post that in, a place where you see it every day. And she says, grandmother, I am going to put that right in my bedroom. And you watch, she put some money on there. Not no little bit of this girl put some money on here. I'm talking about $5,000 on the board, in the wording and in the lettering.
Wow.
Okay. 5,000. This is I want you to see what's gonna happen in this year for this child.
Mm, mm, mm.
Okay. So we're
What?
just helping the leadership in our children because we're calling that forth in them. We're calling it forth in the people that are aligned with us. We got followers, but we got some leaders too. And we are calling the leaders to stand up and take their place because you can. Back to you, Rick and Brenda.
That's what we're doing. That's why when you see Lynn and Chantel, Brenda and I receive $1,000 bonuses, there's a period of time, then we receive another $1,000 bonus. We're working it. We declaring it. We're writing it down. It's a, like the book that I'm writing, calling based leadership. It's answering a call, not because of ambition, but because of responsibility. And seeing the results of answering a call. One one command at a time as God is giving us instruction, one instruction at a time, but being totally aware that he's speaking. And you're doing this. Call this person. Not because somebody gave you a list, but you had an urge, an impulse. You're responding to a calling, a discernment. And these are the things that take us to the next level personally, spiritually, physically, and every other way. And so when you see us hitting these bonuses, it's a response to an instruction that you may not even know, right? Like Glenn responded to an instruction, help. First of all, God told his cousin to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a series of steps.
Mm-hmm. I never forget it. Never
And
forget it.
he said, yeah, go ahead.
We were coming home from church. I never forget it. I will never forget that. And the phone call came in. And when the phone call came in, everything was so aligned. It was ridiculous. I'm telling you, at that moment of where we were to be able to say yes. And we looked at each other. It's like, that's a yes. Call him back. And look at what has happened. Look at the lives that's been touched. This is amazing to me. It's amazing when you are obedient. When you're obedient, even when I'm telling you, provision comes to the call. It
Oh, come
comes.
on.
If you're not working on anything, he's not gonna send you no provision. What
Come
is he
on.
sending
Come
the
on.
provision for? Even this stuff with these churches, and I'm gonna tell you, this was my whole posture with God. I said, he was calling me because Glenn was out there running. He was doing it was him and Rick, and they were running, and they were doing, and it was some of the men, and I was sitting back. I was prepared because I was in all the meetings. I was listening. I was taking notes. I was ready. I could get up in any one of those rooms and say the same things he had said but I didn't want to. Is anybody here? I didn't want to. But I got a little nudge one morning when he was going out, and something's like, you need to go with him today. Got up, got dressed, and all I did was went and sat in the room. From that point, I have been in the rooms with him. And I'm going to tell you, your anointing together is ridiculous. It is off the chain. It is absolutely powerful. And the people are watching you. And they're like, if they can do it, I can do it. And we're seeing couples stand up. We're seeing young people stand up. We're seeing people going all around the world, missionaries. Ron is not in here, but things like this is happening because that intention. And so I did not want to step in the room, but I didn't have a choice, really. I had to step in the room. And really a lot of it's about supporting him. I don't sit in all the rooms, but there are some rooms that my presence needs to be in. And I'm talking about the commanded presence, the anointing that we carry stands up in the room because that mantle was passed and it is on us. Whoever will receive it, it's on you. Back to you.
And see, that's the book I'm writing, calling based leadership. When you're called to do something and answering the call and not letting fear, anything get in the way of anything. I know in working this international business that I'm working, the Lord said, don't say no. Don't say no, say yes to all the things that are coming your way. And in my natural flesh, I would be like, I'm not sure I can do that. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure I want to get into this, with the center of these people as that leader. And the Lord said, don't say no. And in looking back, I've had at least 5 or 6 opportunities that I bypassed no, that took me to the next level, that took me to the next level, that took me to the next level. And they're acts of obedience that bring provision, everlasting, supernatural provision. Acts of obedience along the way open the door for supernatural provision where water flows from the rock. What happens with people, they interject fears from their past that cannot go to their future along the way at those key decision points. And the water stops, when they say no. And it's almost like in the word, that's all the blessing you wanted. If you had kept striking the ground with the arrow, if you had gone out and got some more vet containers, it wouldn't have stopped. It would have kept flowing and flowing and flowing. You guys feel what I'm saying? Because it's alignment with your purpose. Has nothing to do with surge. Has everything to do with being able to move forward in the face of your fears from your past to go to your next level. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that was good. Anybody else? You know what's so great? When we have these conversations, what it does, it really just reminds us of the things that we have achieved, letting us know that continuing to do that. You think about it, I can go back years and years. We've been doing this call, and it always starts with that whole mindset. When we were listening to Caroline Leaf back in the day, and the mind, the brain, and it always starts with you making a decision that I'm going to do it. And then once you make that decision that you're going to do it, then you start seeing the results. Because from everything that everybody has shared, it all started with them saying, I'm going to do this. And then you start seeing the results. So just like way back when you first read your list and the last thing was on it was a projector, and the projector popped up, Rick Journal. So I'm quite sure he has hours and hours, days and days, years and years of things that he's written down that has come to pass. I think the biggest project that we have written down that's coming together very nicely is this book. I have a feeling I know it is going to explode, calling based ministry, because it's what we're doing on a daily basis and being able to share it with everyone. So continue to do what you guys are doing, whatever makes you comfortable, but make sure you do it. Make sure, because timing is always perfect. You know, I got off the phone with my brother a few minutes before the call, and it might not be that you're totally changing or letting go of your dreams, your goals, and your desire. You're pivoting. You're moving in a direction that you feel comfortable moving towards, because that is what's going to work for you. You're not taking a lot of time overthinking it. That's my daughter's words all the time. Mom, don't overthink this, especially when she tells me something. So just do what makes you feel comfortable. Do what works for you. That's what's so great with us all being individuals. You know what works for you. So just continue to do it. And a lot of times life happens and we pivot and we do something different, but it's okay because you're still heading in the direction that you need to go. And you'll find yourself right back where you need to be and continuing to move on to accomplish your goals and your dreams. The key to it all is to not give up. The key is to never stop. You have to stay focused, stay determined, stay relentless, and making sure that you're going to continue to do what you know in your hearts of heart to do. And it all starts in the mind. It all starts with learning something new. That has never changed. It all starts with you being determined that I'm going to make this work. And then also knowing that your timing is always perfect. When you know that and you believe that, that's exactly how it works out for you, because it can't go any other way. And so it's okay to pivot. It's okay to do different things, but making sure you're on the track to get what you have written down, what your goals and dreams are, because it's going to come to pass. So this was good. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed listening to everyone share their different things on how they do it, because I can list a few things that I procrastinate on, but I wait for that timing. And then when the timing hits, man, I knock it out in a few days. Where if I'm trying to go through it, it's taking me forever to get it done. But when the timing is right, I knock it out. Darlene, I didn't overthink it. It's perfect, and we move on. So whatever works for everybody, it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And it's been working this way. So just continue to do it and watch how all your goals and desires, your dreams, everything you want to uh, get done. Anybody else?
Join us tonight. We've got special speakers, national builders, amazing leaders. Glenn and Chantel Aiden will be on our show tonight, on our call tonight.
We'll be
Show
there.
and tell. And we're so looking forward to just hearing their little testimony after the presentation. And man, everything that was going through my mind was they've received a check since 2007. Consistently do everything. They've never missed a check. But they'll be on our call. They will be our featured speakers, national builders, Glenn and Shelton Adams. Business last name.
That's my
Aiden.
last name.
Hey, there's a new sign up. Hey, go check out your marketing page for signups.
Now there's a new
Oh,
sign-up process. I'll be putting that out there on the newsletter. Have you gone through that, Glenn?
I looked at it. I haven't gone completely through the process yet.
Yeah, they said it's simplified. I haven't looked at it yet either. I'll look at it. But
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that.
definitely join us tonight. We're so proud to have them join us and grace us with their message here. So back to you, Brenda.
Well, all righty. Anybody else? Because you guys know what I love to say, that we are the most trusted team in Surge 365. We are winners. I look forward to seeing everybody on the call this evening. And I want you to go out and have a great rest of your day and do whatever makes you happy. All righty. Bye-bye now.
Pray with me and my computers. Hey, God, you got it. Perfect
Yeah.
presentation.
Just don't
He's
push
got it.
buttons.
He's got it. Yes,
Perfect
sir.
presentation tonight. Let's
Perfect.
do it.
All righty.
God bless.
God bless.